In this video, I will talk about 6 money rules that school doesn't teach us. The 5 core principles I'm about to share with you are more valuable than most of what you've learned at school. And they cover almost everything that you need to know about personal finance. Once you know them, they can help you achieve financial success. Hi, I'm Sabina. I'm a chartered certified accountant with 10 years of experience, and on this channel, I share knowledge and strategies about finance, entrepreneurship, and self-development. The first money rule that we are not taught in school is inflation. When you save your money in cash, it is safe, it is accessible, and it's essentially for your emergency fund and short-term goals and anything that you need money for in the next 5 years. But while that balance is sitting there and growing every single month, something else is reducing its value, and that is inflation. Inflation is the rate at which prices rise over time. That means that £100 today will not buy you the same next year than it does right now. To illustrate it, let's look at the example. If your bank offers you 5% interest rate on your savings account and you deposit £1,000, you will earn £50 in interest and you will have £1,050 at the end of the year. If an iPhone costs £1,000 today and the inflation rate is 8%, that iPhone will cost you £1,080 at the end of the year. In this example, although you increased your money by £50, the purchasing power of your money has reduced, and your money has actually lost 3% of its real value that year, which means that you won't be able to buy that same iPhone with your money because of inflation. If you have money sitting in a low interest savings account with inflation running at low term average, you could lose thousands of dollars in purchasing power completely unaware of it. So make sure that any cash you are holding into is sitting in a high interest savings account, which offers a market leading rate of return, because the difference in interest rate can be significant. That way, your hard-earned money is working for you and it's not losing its value to inflation. When you save your money in cash, it preserves your money, but it doesn't grow your money, which leads me to rule number 2, the power of compounding. Another thing that school doesn't teach is that when you invest your money in assets like shares, funds, or real estate, they have potential to grow over time and are the best way to build your wealth. That's because of the power of compounding, which is the most important concept in all personal finance. The way it works is that the money you invest earns interest, and then that interest also starts earning interest over time. The single most important variable is not how much money you invest, but how long your money has to grow. The earlier you start investing and the longer you stay invested, the more time your investments have to grow and the more money you make because returns compound. And the larger your initial investment is, the more the returns are going to be on that investment, and then the more the returns are going to be on the accumulated interest. Time beats money almost every single time. There is a phrase in investing that you've probably heard before, which is the best time to start was yesterday, the second best time is today. The best and simplest way to start investing that anyone can access is to invest in index funds. Index funds are low-cost, ready-made baskets of stocks. When you invest in index funds, they hold a variety of investments within them, which will reduce your risk by spreading it across multiple companies, sectors, and industries. For example, a popular index fund, the S&P 500, tracks the performance of the largest 500 publicly traded companies in the US, and it has earned an average annual return of 13.59% in the last 10 years. If you invested £10,000 into the S&P 500 in 2016, it would become over £35,000 today. That's an extra £25,000 that you never had to work for. As you can see, investing in the stock market can be a great way to grow your wealth because of the power of compounding. Rule number 3. Assets versus liabilities. The next thing school doesn't teach us is the choices we have about what to do with our money when we earn a salary. A lot of people, even those with a six-figure income, are broke because they end up spending that money on consumption, buying expensive things, or upgrading their lifestyle, like buying a bigger house or a luxury car. They often think that they are doing well financially because they measure their success by their income level and not by their financial progress. But spending without a plan could be stopping you from making real financial progress. So it's important to be specific about your life's goals and values and align your spending with your goals. To achieve this, you need to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. And by assets, not liabilities. An asset is something that makes you more money, while a liability is something that costs you money. Most people buy liabilities that they think are assets. For example, an expensive car. They often take on debt to buy them, and they also cost money to maintain. They end up living above their means and working hard while going into debt. Wealthy people use their savings to buy assets first, which can increase in value over time and create income for them that they don't have to trade their time for. For example, rental properties can generate rental income. Once they've built up their assets, then they focus on buying liabilities using income generated from those assets. The idea is to, at the beginning of your wealth building journey, focus heavily on building assets and put the liabilities on hold. One specific way of achieving this is to get your income as high above your expenses as possible. So the percentage of your money that you can save is larger. For example, when you get a pay rise or a bonus, you can save that difference instead of spending it and invest that money in assets. The goal is to understand the difference between what is an asset and what is a liability and spend money on assets first. Before you buy anything new, ask yourself whether it supports your financial goals and has the potential to generate money for you and build your wealth long term. Rule number 4 is understanding taxes. Although tax is one of the biggest expenses we will ever pay over our lifetime, we are definitely not taught in school how to optimize our income to reduce the amount of tax that we pay, so we keep more of our money. Not understanding how tax works means you are probably either overpaying or missing out on completely legal ways to keep more of what you earn. Different income streams are taxed differently. If you are employed or self-employed, the income that you earn, like your salary from your 9-to-5 job or money you earn working for yourself, is taxed the most. Here is how income tax actually works in the UK. You don't pay any tax on your first £12,570. That's known as the personal allowance. Then you pay 20% up to £50,270, 40% up to £125,140, and 45% above that amount. And there is an unofficial effective tax rate of 60% if you earn between £100,000 and £125,140. For example, if you earn £50,000, you are not paying 20% tax on everything. You are not paying anything on the first £12,570. And then you are just paying 20% on 37,430, which is the difference between 50,000 and 12,570. And a lot of people don't actually realize that. If you are a business owner or a company director, you get to pay less tax because corporation tax rates are lower than income tax rates, and they range between 19% and 25% depending on the level of profits that you make. On top of that, you can deduct any business expenses before paying tax, reducing your tax bill even further. You will end up in a more favorable position than salaried employees. If you are an investor, the money you make from dividends or capital gains have much lower tax rates, and they are the most favorable one from a tax perspective. On top of that, you don't pay any tax on your investment returns if you invest through tax-advantaged accounts. That's why even a basic understanding of this at school would be helpful, to know that the tax system doesn't reward people who work hard, but those who are smart about it. So if you do want to learn more, I have a video right here on my channel, which is about legal ways to reduce the amount of tax you pay. Rule number 5, money mindset. We are all taught in school and by society to get good grades, go to uni, get a good job, and that making money is tied to our employment, what job you have and what industry you are in. But when we do that, we trade our time for money and basically spend our life working to make someone else rich. This mindset often holds us back from finding opportunities to generate more money that might lead to financial success. Wealthy people think very differently when it comes to money, and they focus on investing in assets and investing in their own financial education. They have an abundance mindset and view money as a resource that can be generated rather than limited, because they know that the upside potential for income growth is unlimited. They don't work for money, but have money work for them. I had this belief for so many years until recently, when I learned that there are other ways to make money outside of the regular 9 to 5. They can be more fulfilling and earn a lot more money, and you don't have to follow the traditional path to get there. Making money is about finding ways to create real value and solve problems for other people. And the more people you reach and impact, who find value in what you are doing, the greater your earnings potential, because the money has a way of finding you based on the value that you've contributed. School doesn't teach us this about money because it goes against the entire system. Those are the 5 money rules that school doesn't teach us that can help you grow your wealth. If you learned anything new from this video, then please do subscribe to my channel. If you enjoyed this, you will also like the video on 6 simple ways that you can reduce your taxes without the need for any complicated tax planning. I will see you there.